This is what they're doing sit-ins for. This is while we have astronomical crime, while we have all types of issues here in Maryland.
Send it, bro. It's a baby. Come on. Please. Relax, bro. I need you to breathe.
They decide to sit in for illegals.
Well, I just came out of the federal building here in Baltimore where I joined my colleagues in the Maryland Congressional delegation, trying to get to the 6th floor, trying to exercise our legal right and authority for oversight over ICE facilities. And the law is very clear that we have the right on behalf of our constituents to conduct oversight of any facility that is detaining or otherwise housing folks. We were denied the ability to visit. I specifically wore comfy shoes, pants today, knowing that we might have to sit on the floor for a while, and we did. And I thought about my grandmother, whose parents were immigrants from Poland, and this was hers today when I got dressed this morning, because every American is connected to what's happening here in this facility in Baltimore.
You know what they didn't go? I wanted to ask, why didn't they go to the IRS? Why didn't they barge in there and ask to see the accounting records and how many people, how much we're paying in taxes, and that they can advocate for the reduced taxes and the less government, if you will. There are a whole lot of offices in that federal building. These are the people, again, they represent Maryland. Maryland is always in the news for foolishness, crime, lack of education, all kinds of stuff, but never for anything positive in a sense. All these government programs, Kwesi sitting his ass down there like a slave waiting to be served something, and all these other representatives. I forget her name, Nicole. You might know her name.
Oh, Angela also Brooks.
Yeah, Angela also.
Yeah, also,
there,
yeah.
right?
These people do not mean us well. They are only doing this for their own benefit and to remain in power. And unfortunately, in Maryland, it's probably going to work to their benefit.
Yeah, Nicole. I mean, it was 6 of them, 6 Democrats, including Van Hollen, Senator also Brooks, she's a new one, denied full access to an ICE holding room in Baltimore. They claimed they were there to check on conditions, but they didn't give any prior notice, which contradicts their surprise oversight narrative.
You know, you're looking for MD Dems, you're usually going to find them sitting on their ass while the world is doing good, right? Here's the problem that they have. Consider this. Their drive to Baltimore could not have been any different than the drive that I drive in to Baltimore, right? Because I have to drive past Washington, D.C. to get here. So they also saw the junkie zombies.
Yeah.
They also saw the homeless people. They probably drove past 1 or 2 people who were recently robbed, raped, or maimed. Did they stop? Did they sit there? Did they sit there and say, junkie zombie who sat in the middle of the road, let me help you? No. They drove around them to do this publicity stunt for people in Maryland who are already fed up.
Right.
When you talk about Democrat, socialist, and Democrat, these little subgroups, we have all of that here in Maryland. But one thing that we don't have in Maryland here are legislators who give a damn about people who live in Maryland. What they're interested in is retaining power.
That's it.
Yep.
Getting these brown people to vote for them, because black people are starting to wake up. Black men, most specifically, are starting to wake up. And I don't mean wake up in a sense of woke, like they say woke, but I mean wake up in when you're growing up in politics, it's no longer just about I like this team versus that team. You actually look at your personal value set. And you measure it against each party and go, well, I have more in common with these people than I do with those people. So this is the way I'm going to vote on these issues. And if I find a candidate who really talks about that, that's who I'm going to vote for. They didn't vote for any of these people. Also, Brooks beat Larry Hogan because she's black.
That's it.
Make no
And a
mistake.
female.
Make no mistake. This
That's
is the
it.
reason why we have Wes Moore untried
He's
governor
black.
because he's black. And look at what has happened. We have got to stop doing this to ourselves. But in this blue state, if you're a black Democrat, there's almost a 100% electability rate over any color Republican, whether you have good policy or not. This is what we got. We got our federal leaders sitting on the floor.
Of a federal bill.
On the floor, like a bunch of idiots. It makes me crazy because, listen, we got so much stuff we need to be doing.
I hope they get hemorrhoids. But while these Maryland Democrats are banging on ICE office doors to protect illegals, children, as you said, Nicole, are being murdered and left to rot in car trunks in their own state. 2 innocent babies failed by the system. I want you guys to take a look at this next video. There was no outrage for these children. There was no outrage for, like Nicole said, the crime, the drugs, the trafficking that is all up and down Baltimore City and other areas of this state. But they're sitting in for illegals. Take a look at our good guys in blue, our police officers who do not get enough credit. Do not get enough credit. Take a look at this traffic stop that occurred in Baltimore City just a couple of years ago, but has become public just recently.
Open it up, ma'am.
I did.
Unroll the whole thing. What? Open that up. Open that up. What the f? Get the f in! Put your hands up! Don't you Turn over! Turn over right now! You're under arrest! Don't you move! Don't you move! Put your hands behind your back! Put your hands behind your back!
What I do?
What the
It's not mine.
What the What the Gloves, everything.
Everybody should have gloves and a mask on.
What man, yo? What's in there, bro? It's a baby, yo. Come on. Please. Relax, bro. I'm here. I need you to breathe. Good instinct. Okay. I need you to breathe, okay? I'm good. I need you. I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
No. I'm sorry. I just want to ask you one. There's nothing for me to talk about with you. Do you understand that?
More officers begin to arrive and can only guess at what has the other officers in such a sickened state.
I'm gonna say pepper spray happened. No. It's a dead baby in that bag. Oh, what the Hey, you come back. It looks like a kid that's curled up in there. I don't want to look, right? Nope. Just wait.
Hold up for a minute. Something just happened next.
They're not okay.
They're not okay. I wasn't okay. That's why I took off. I sat there and I dug through that stuff the whole time.
My God. You see that? The police were throwing up. They were crying out of what they saw. So let me tell you guys what happened. On July 28th, 2021, Nicole Michelle Johnson, a 33-year-old Baltimore woman, was arrested after police found the decomposing bodies of her niece, Jocelyn Marie James Johnson, who was 7, and her nephew, Larry Darnell O'Neill, he was just 5, in the trunk of her car during a traffic stop in Essex, Maryland. The case revealed severe neglect and malnourishment, leading to Johnson's guilty plea and a 50-year prison sentence. She was just sentenced this February 2025. The case highlighted failures in child welfare oversight, with questions about Maryland's Department of Human Services involvement and the need for better enforcement of mandatory abuse reporting laws. Now, that woman was a hooker, and that area where she was picked up is a well-known area where people traffic, prostitute, all sorts of things. Where's the sit-ins for this area? Where are the sit-ins for the children that have been abused and neglected? Where are the sit-ins for the failing schools in Baltimore City? We don't see any of these Democrats doing that, but they're taking their time to do sit-ins for criminal illegals.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Two things. One, real quick, I wanted to say when you were talking about the senators are sitting on their ass. Pennsylvania Avenue a couple weeks ago, the overdose, mass overdose. That is Kwesi Infame's district. Not only that, he grew up in that area.
You would never know it because where was he?
Where was he? Sitting on his ass in the Crown building.
Wait. I'm waiting for a statement.
Votes don't matter.
Votes don't matter. Not only that, children, the toddlers, see, they can't vote.
Right.
So they have no stake, if you will. They have no need for them. The politicians have no need for them at that young age. Certainly, they don't have a need for them in most cases in Baltimore City, because all they want is for people to vote for them to keep them in power. If you can't keep them in power, then they have no use for you. They can't exploit you even, because you're not even going to vote for them. But this is the bigger problem again. Who we're voting for and why? Are we only voting for people because, oh, we know them and they grew up here and, you know, they one of us, but while they're sitting there in the Fallon building or down in D.C., doing absolutely nothing to make better the communities that they're supposed to represent. They're not putting the criminals away. As a matter of fact, Kwesi Mfame and the likes of him are the ones who advocate for criminals to get out.
Yep.
These same people will put the criminals back into the communities so we can have people like this nut woman, this murderer, basically what she is, because she murdered those 2 children. It ultimately came out that they died from starvation, malnutrition, abuse, blunt force trauma. And to the autopsy or the medical examiner's credit, they said the injuries were so extensive and the bodies were so decomposed, they couldn't exactly pinpoint how they died. But all of these things are cumulative to, are leading to the deaths of these children. The politicians don't give a damn. They don't care. We need an overhaul of the human services system. We need an overhaul of the welfare and the child abuse system, if you will, and monitoring these children. We need an overhaul. But no, they're sitting down in the Fallon building and all across the United States. What's the other lady name who was the congressman for Hitting Ice? All these making movies, if you will.
This is a photo.
Yes.
That's what it is.
It's theater.
It's for their donors.
Yes.
And it is to show the brown community that they are their choice, right? You can't vote red. You have to vote brown because that is your choice. You know, when I watched this video, I watched it from beginning to end when I was out sick with my asthma attack. And for many, many reasons, I was horrified from beginning to end. The fact that this woman, is a second generation prostitute, right? The fact that her sister had an 8-month-old when they came to check in, right? And she gave her these 2 children like they were disposable handbags. Like, here, have a couple of kids, right? And when she talked to the cops about how she disciplined, how she beat this little 6-year-old with her balled up fist, throwing rights and lefts to the body of this small child, it broke my heart. But what was even worse is when you see the humanity that these police officers had. And the restraint it took to not knock her damn block off for what she had done. And she's going to take off running like they're pulling her over for a flat tire or, out of date tags. Where were you going to run to with 2 dead babies in bags?
You could hear one of the officers retching in the back.
Oh, they're all throwing up.
Yeah.
It was horrible and
vomiting.
sickening.
He was trying to stop him vomiting. Yeah.
But listen, when did we hear any of these elected officials who are sitting on their ass say anything about it? Not one thing. And not just about this viral video, but about the horrible state of Maryland's punishment for this. Because yes, she was convicted. Yes, she was sentenced to 50 years. Who wants to bet me dollars to donuts in 10 years? She's going to be out. She's going to be out. And she'll be back doing the family trade, because this is what she does. She'll be back hooking again.
But they let her out.
They let everybody out.
First of all, there's no death penalty in Maryland. Number 1, they got rid of that. So that threat is not even there. You can't even use that as a bargaining tool. Number 2, we see across the country, many criminals are let out even if they go in with no parole, because there's somebody who will come up and argue something about their sentence, the trial, whatever, or just they serve good behavior, so they can get out. This happens all the time, and these people are put back into the general public, and these representatives are supposed to be representing us, but they don't care. They can go sit on their asses in the Fallon building, still collect their $180,000+ check a year, and keep it moving and stay in power. I don't understand. I don't know what's going to wake people up. I don't know.
The thing that really bothered me about this story was thinking about, so she killed the girl first.
That's what it sounds like. Yep,
she did.
She killed her a couple weeks, I think, before the boy died. And I just thought about him wondering, where's his sister?
Right.
Did he see her kill the girl? And if he didn't, the trauma that he went through during that period before she killed him, wondering where his sister is. I mean, this is just, and to even think that she could get out in 10 years?
The depravity of it. But what's even more depraved than her act is the way that our state looks at crime and punishment.
Yep.
There's not one place in this country where this woman shouldn't be under the jail if they allowed her to live. Because, honey, if this was Texas, they'd be rolling her sleeve up right now. Alabama, she'd be sitting in Big Mama greased up like a fresh piece of chicken. They would fry her butt for everything she's worth because they value life. They value life, and we don't have that.
Many people on our side, conservative, Republicans, independent, whatever, many people say that we're not compassionate. Compassion is, I'm thinking, one of the most misused, misapplied words, because even like you said, our justice system often has compassion for the criminal. And I'm talking about, not talking about at the trial level, because the trial is supposed to be there to present evidence on both sides. But when it's known, when the facts and the data say and prove that this criminal did XYZ, some heinous crime. I'm not talking about just your average going and stealing things. Those are crimes, yes. But where is the compassion for the real victims, the children like Jocelyn and Larry and other children who have been murdered, beaten, starved to death? Where's the compassion from our legal system and the people who are supposed to be looking out for the innocent, the people who have done nothing, who can't defend themselves? Where's that compassion? Compassion, like many other words and concepts, have been so misused, misapplied, and abused primarily by the left. And we're confused.
And then they create new ones.
Yeah,
they create new ones that don't make a bit of sense, and they're all out of whack.
I can tell you that I know quite a few sitting judges here in this state who are fine human beings who do value life, but they can only sentence what the law allows.
True.
This is a legislative problem. Every year they go back to Annapolis, January to April, and they write these little crappy laws and new regulations and fees and fines, but no one is really looking out for us.
Exactly.
Very few.
So please continue those super chats to help to keep us online, and like, share, and subscribe. Our goal is to hit 200,000 subscribers by Labor Day. We can do it with your help. Share this broadcast, send it in a DM, post it on your social media, and of course, subscribe.